So, Miss Roberta, first, I just want to again tell you thank you for spending some time with me and just sitting down and talking to me about your experience being I'm going to say an educator in Griffin Spalding. Let's go back. When I first met you, I learned that this is your 50th year in the school system. Is that correct?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Well, the 50 years, they were wonderful. I mean, because it is 50, and it will be coming up 51, but see, I didn't notice it being 50 because I enjoyed the job. Right. And it never occurred to me that how long I've been here.
So, you know, I think when I think back about this, you know, you having worked in one place for almost 51 years.
Yes.
A week from Thursday, I'll turn 50 years old. And so I can only imagine the people that you've met over the years, the things that you've seen over the years. What has it been like to, at one point, transport adults now to school? Do you ever get a chance to see them in the neighborhood or anything like that?
Yes, I run into them quite often, but being Griffin, and a lot of them never left Griffin, and a lot of them went to school with my children. So yes, I get to see a lot of them.
What was it like driving a school bus 50 years ago in comparison to what it's like today?
Well, everything was segregated when I was coming up. Okay, and then when I came into driving, they had started, well, there was integration with everybody. So it was different because I guess the black children thought that I couldn't accept them being with the white kids because I guess the way they were raised, like you don't associate with so-and-so, but they was on the same bus. And I had to make sure that everything balanced out because I did have both. Right. And I didn't want nobody to feel different. Although they were different, I didn't want them to feel different. And I had to treat everybody the same. And that was my goal when I started.
And so tell me about when you started. How did you get started as a bus driver?
I had my child. Okay. And he was a baby, and Russell Starr was the one that trained me. He trained myself and his wife and my sister. But my sister, she was going to drive, but she moved to Atlanta. But Russell's wife didn't want to do it. She said, I don't want to do this. I said, Russell, I want to keep doing it. That's because I like it. And it was straight shift.
And so what do you mean by straight shift?
Oh, it was clutches and all this stuff.
Oh, you mean the bus was straight shift?
Yes. So it was I say a straight shift bus. That's what it was.
Awesome.
And I liked that. I could drive a straight shift car, but driving a bus, didn't know if it was going to roll back or what, you know, so.
I can remember learning how to drive, not wanting to learn on what you call straight shift for that very reason. And while I grew up in Florida and there weren't very many hills, when I got to Kentucky for college, that's all there were. And so I had my fair share of near misses.
Really?
I did. And I'm interested in hearing from you. Talk to me about the schools that you were taking students to when you started and whether or not you're still servicing some of those same schools today.
I've been on special needs. Okay. Not the same ones, but at that time I was going to Kelsey, and that's what it was called, just not AZ, it was called Kelsey. And I was going to Beaverbrook, I was going to Atkinson, and it was different ones. In fact, it was like several because you were going everywhere. Right. It was going all over.
So did they have students, so today, you know, we have an elementary run, we have a high school run, we have a middle school run. Was it like that?
No, they were mixing them then.
Everybody on the same bus?
Yes, you had different types of school-age children.
What was that like?
It was challenging, but you had to learn to Well, you had to learn when they got off too, so otherwise they'd have been left on the bus. So, but it was challenging because you had to learn what was the like and dislike, and you also had to watch out for them.
Right. I keep asking myself, what is it, and how is it that you've been able to maintain, you know, your position in the school system? Of all the jobs, of all the companies, why Griffin Spalding for 50 years? What is it about what you do?
Griffin, it really is a good place to live, and at that time it was like I had my children, and my husband, he worked at General Motors, and he was already working, so I couldn't leave him with somebody else other than babysitting. So I wanted to be near, and that was the only opportunity I had, was to be with my children practically all day.
So at some point, you had students that you were taking to school,
Yes.
Who were able to watch Clifford grow up, so to
Yes.
speak. Did Clifford ever say what that was like, being able to, you know, be in the neighborhood and say, hey, I knew you when you were a baby?
Oh, we've had that to happen.
Really?
Yes. He met some of the ones that even took him to the babysitter.
Wow.
Said, Clifford, you were a baby when I took you to the babysitter. He said, you know, I don't remember that, but still. But it was really wonderful.
Really. So, you know, one of the things that I'm most appreciative of, Miss Roberta, oftentimes people don't realize the work that bus drivers do. Because in many ways, when school is open, you don't necessarily see the driver.
No.
And when schools are closed, buses aren't running. But to be able to maintain that level of professionalism, that level of loyalty, but most important, that level of service to students throughout this community is phenomenal. And to do it for 5 decades. And when I hear you say, I really didn't pay attention, I didn't realize it was that long. I suspect it's because you really enjoy what you do.
I love what I was doing.
And I can see when I talk to you about it, I can see in your eyes the love that you had for the children. And so I keep calling them children when many of them are older than I am.
Yes, they are.
My hope, even though I've never driven a bus, my hope is that my face will light up the way that yours does when I think back on my career and the service that I've given to students. And my hope is that through this process, through this conversation, that there will be an opportunity for some of your students who haven't had a chance to say hi in a while, to see you in this video and to just know that you're doing well. But to also know that after 50 plus years, I heard you say it's about time. Are you excited about retirement?
No.
Tell me why.
Because I know I'm going to miss what I was doing.
Right.
And I guess because I love children and I love trying to protect the children. I guess that's why.
Yeah.
Because on the bus, you can protect children because they were on the bus. You cannot go in a store and protect children. People are not going to let you even say anything to their children. Right. But you can protect them while they're on the bus. And I guess that's what I'll miss is, you know, trying to protect the children, because that was my main concern.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure I speak for hundreds of grown people in Griffin today who probably have had children that have ridden your bus who would say thank you for protecting them and protecting their children. But know, as the superintendent of this school system today, someone who just aspires to provide the level of service that you have provided for more days than I have been alive, I can't tell you thank you enough. I mean, it in this day and age, with all of the challenges that not only school systems but communities see, your willingness to stay, your willingness to serve is to be commendable. So I just wanted to say thank you.